So,
Well, hey, looks like the gang's all here. So it's time for another Shower Door Professionals live stream here on Thursday evening. Yeah, good to see you guys. We've got a good group here tonight. I'm excited to see what we're going to come up with. We've already got some good banter going on, talking about, wine rooms, and out of the box kind of installations. The thing that's been on my mind lately has been training.
mm,
I mean, that covers a lot of ground. And actually, I kind of got the idea when we were talking last week. Because it's like sometimes our customers need training. I found that like training customers, and managing their expectations is a huge part of being successful in installations and having happy customers. And if you can, select your customers, not everybody can. Somebody has to kind of take. Some people have to kind of take all comers, right? Because it's just where you're at in your business and your model or whatever, and just make the best of whoever comes along. Um, you've been around for a while and you've kind of honed your craft a little bit more. You may be able to be a little bit more selective. You may not have to say yes to everybody. You may be able to pass on some, be like, hey, we're not really a great fit. That was always my thing. I never tell them it's their fault, right? It's not you, it's me, baby, right? It's like, but sometimes you have to pass. Hey, we're not a great fit for you. I know that these guys across town, they'll probably be a really good fit. Um, but a big part of being successful is, first of all, picking the right customer and then managing their expectations, and a lot of that is through training. So that's just one kind of little rabbit trail we can go down. But generally, we're talking about training. We're really talking about employees, right? People on the team. Could be your installers, could be salespeople. If you've got project managers or project coordinators or whatever, those guys or gals, right? But do you guys have a training program? How do you manage training people on your team or elsewhere?
that's not wrong. Like you
Or
take,
are they training you?
no, I mean, I come from the old school guys. It's hard with the new generation. It's like, oh, I don't know. It's a little different for me. My dad, he got a lot of customers like right away kind of thing. And so when they come in, they expect it now. I'm like, oh, he's not here no more, okay? It's my show. And so some customers, they've been around for a while, and it's we try to do our best, but I mean, and sometimes it doesn't work like that anymore.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but what about like new hires and stuff like that? I mean, do you have like a packet? Do you have like kind of some standard operating procedures, or at least some kind of policy for how you get guys trained up and ready to go?
Now, do you guys prefer people? Now, when you guys do hire, do you guys prefer ones that have already come from other glass shops, or you like green guys?
Ooh, that's a good question, man.
This is actually exactly what I'm going through right now. So this is a great topic.
Because the green guys seem like they're easier. The guys that are already experienced, they're assholes, dude. They think they know everything already. And
And you don't know
then,
what you're talking about.
yeah, exactly. I'm like, and I have one. He's a good guy. I mean, but he's all right. I mean, he did come from another glass shop, but I needed somebody with experience. I didn't have time to train anybody. But sometimes, man, like today, we had a commercial job to go do, and it was a stack system, and he goes, and then he pre-cut everything to go to the job site, so we do that, and he goes, "You're short." I'm like, "Okay," and I go, "Did you take your head can?" Well, it didn't fit. It did not fit. What do you mean? It didn't want to fit? The post didn't want to fit. I'm like, yeah, it does. And then he goes, I measured it, it didn't fit. And I take it with me, spread it open a little bit, shoved it in. I go, dude, what are you talking about? Man, guys like that. So I had to drive across town and take him all the headers because he assumed that it was an oh dude. Pissed me off today, man. Wasted my time today. Just but they finished the job. I was like, okay, finish the job, you're good. Man.
Yeah, I prefer green, and I've heard that's the preference for the most part because what happened in a lot of different ways. We would hire the experienced person, put them through our process, expect their experience to close the gap, and then their experience got in the way when they actually got in the field. And if you have an honest helper or lead or me in the truck, then I could hear them say yes to everything in the shop and hear them like comprehend it. And then they'll either walk out and be like, I don't know what he's talking about, or that guy doesn't know what he's talking about.
Mm-hmm.
And when he gets in the truck, the way he drove, the cigarettes he smokes in his truck, because you saw me out, I'm high dollar. I can't smoke in the truck. What are you gonna do? Fire me? You literally told me I was a pit. That was the core reason your commercial department exists. You literally just high fived me the other day or gave me such kudos that now I think I have the power to do this. And if you don't reprimand me, then everyone else who actually follows the rules would be like, why should I? And that's what I learned that came with experience, dudes. It's this: you hired me for a reason, even if you have a policy or standard. When I get out there, I won't block the hinges, even though you said I should. And then we have tons of go backs for slick hinges. And unless we identify why or have the helper tell us, actually, that guy never did them. He said it doesn't need it. He's installed hundreds of showers. Like, and the green guys don't know better to know better than you.
Right.
They only know what you teach them. So if you can get your process right, you can train them in only the good habits. And they don't come packaged with whatever other companies' habits came with them. Sometimes they're good. You expect them all to be good, but what we all realize is they're not.
Yeah.
Those habits aren't always good habits. They green.
And about the green guy that you cheat, I have a green guy. Well, he's not green anymore. I've had him for like 5 years. He goes, man, I saw my door today perfect. I'm like, I'm perfect. I'm like, shut up, dude. Get away. I like that. I like his arrogant, but he's good. I mean,
Yeah.
I taught him. He's like a reflection like me. Like he does. Like he goes with our new guy. I mean, they work together, and I told him just keep an eye on him. All right, keep on the new. The guy. I mean, even though he has more experience than my green guy, I trust my green guy. Well, he's not green anymore, but I trust him more than the
He knows the
higher.
way you want it done,
Exactly, and he
and
does
he'll
it.
make sure that it
And
gets done right.
he keeps the other guy in line. Like, hey, we don't do it like that, and he'll tell him. And this is how we do it.
We park here, we pick up our trash after, we
Mm-hmm.
wipe down our space. Those fingerprints don't go there. Sometimes these guys that are really good come with some, I don't care. That's not my job. We take pictures after. I'm not a photographer. They hired an installer. Like, I've heard all of these things from these people, good and bad, but like having trusted people that are maybe 80% as good, but that are bought into your brand and process, that's way more valuable than having some 100% dude that will hurt your brand. That's just at the end of the day, that's what it is. So I like green or just finding a way to keep experienced dudes accountable if you bring them in like that. I haven't discovered the ways to do that. I know how to audit people and track, but I don't know the right formula besides green, come in, have your stuff documented, show them exactly, record your screen with something like Loom or Zoom or anything. And like Loom Pro, I pay for that advanced version, and you don't have to know any AI. Just put Loom on your screen, record your screen when you're drawing this, doing this, updating that, quoting this, talk out what you're doing. And at the end of that 1 minute, 3 minute video, hit stop, and the pro version will spit out your SOPs, your transcript, the highlights of this call, and the step by step things you did. And then you hand that to someone else, and at least they have a guideline of how you did it, and they'll do a 60% right. because most of us have zero training. They just you tell them once, show them once, and then you're mad if they didn't get it perfect every time after that. But a recorded process, starting with the first variable and then going from there and stacking it every 5 minutes you get every month or so. It's the way I've seen busy owners do it. If they can't sit down and bring in a company, just one by one more thing after one more thing you don't have to do. Just start with one. The basic, how do I measure an inline door and panel? The basic, this is how we drive up to a spot, get off the truck, where we park, how we walk in, how we greet them. You might assume they all might know this, but record it, document it, and test them, and that's piece by piece, brick by brick, as they say.
Yeah. Yeah, Dan Martell calls that the camcorder method, right? Buy back your time. It's like, yeah, video it, and then you do that one time, and you've got, a procedure that you can have like a checklist, or you could even have like a QR code. Don't know how to do it, like here, scan this QR code. There's a 1 minute, 3 minute video, whatever shows you exactly how to do that thing. Then if like they don't do it that way, it's like, well, okay, so explain to me why you're not doing it that way. I mean, it's pretty hard not to do it the way that the like video shows you to do it. And it's really easy. It only takes like a few minutes. It doesn't have to be polished. It doesn't have to be fancy. It doesn't have to have any watermark or anything. Just like, boom, here it is.
We're actually going through the same thing right now because I'm hiring for 2 positions. I got a bit of turnover. So I'm hiring both. I'm hiring an experienced guy. So I need someone that's going to come in fully qualified as a lead hand for our construction division. But I'm also looking for someone who's never been doing any sort of glass work to work in the shower division. But for both divisions, we've built the same similar SOPs, but with regardless on any job, there's 3 stop gates that happen in any process, like 3 positions where there's a checklist to be filled out before any job goes through. So it's, if, for example, in pre-constructions, like your shop drawings are approved based on what you need to order, 18 things on this checklist go. And then 48 hours before you go to site, it's verifying your materials physically, you've dimensionally verified, everything's here, collaborated, you're good to go. And then your third gate is at, the 20 to 40% on site, that you're at a point where everything looks good. This is for subcontractors too. We make them use the same thing when they're on site. That if there's a deficiency, now's the time to catch it rather than at the end of the job, that things go and they can progress forward. Our team uses it as well. If there's a problem to be caught, catch it at the 20% stage or 40% stage and at the end. So they can use it. So back to why we're hiring. I'm hiring an experienced construction guy because I just need someone to run around and run with experience following these SOPs. But the idea is these keep that person accountable, regardless of their skill set. You can say, well, yeah, I'm God's gift to construction. That's great. But you still have to fill out the same damn SOP and hand them in on every job, and you're going to initial them. And if it didn't follow the protocol and you just initialed it, well, you're accountable for it. So easy come, easy go. For the shower stuff, I'm just looking to hire someone new and have someone teach them, just because it's a little more repetitive. And the best tip I ever heard was hire someone with carpentry experience, because that's the easiest thing to transfer over. It's you're just changing the medium from plywood to glass. Other than that, everything else almost works in conjunction. So find a carpenter, transfer the skills. They're pretty relatable. Put them up in the field and away they go. So I'm hoping that's going to solve that problem. Put that in place. Plus, then by having a lead in my construction division, new guy in the shower division, I'm not taking my highest paid guy now, sticking him with someone new who slows him down just to show him what to do all the time either. Because otherwise you're just slowing down your experienced guy, just showing him someone new. And then, when that guy gets good, you stick him with someone new again just to slow him down yet again. So might as well keep your good guy making you money and at the right pace and have the system do the work.
Yeah,
So
yeah, absolutely. And another thing is that you're always open to improving your system, right?
oh, we've improved it this week. We actually just changed all three of those gates this week because we had flaws where something slipped through. So we just go back and revise it that, hey, this
Exactly.
actually should have been caught at step two, or this could have been migrated at step one. So it didn't make it to step two, just to continuously improve. Yeah, it's never set in stone forever.
Right, and I mean, and that's actually an excellent reason for your most experienced guy to be using your checklist because it gives him the opportunity to find flaws or improve it. I mean, even if you're doing it, right, you should have your checklist out.
Yeah.
I mean, some people will like use like a Google Doc, rather than a paper checklist, and then have that document open while you're doing the process, because that way, first of all, you're not missing anything on your checklist, but also you have the opportunity to update or make a note. Hey, wouldn't it be better if we switched, step three and step four? Because we would catch more mistakes, or we could actually eliminate step seven or whatever. I mean, that's a perfect reason, no matter how experienced somebody is, even if it's the owner, to be have that SOP open
Yeah.
and running
And the
through it.
last thing we want to do is make it long. We want to make it as simple as possible. We want to
Yeah,
eliminate steps, but still capture everything we can. So if we get input from the field saying, we're going to move this up here, and now these two things at the end become redundant, that's great. We're getting rid of them.
exactly.
So,
That's what you're
yeah.
looking to do, because like when you initially have a procedure, it's almost always like too long and too bulky, but it's the first one, and then you're leaning it out as you're going along. You're figuring out, oh man, if we had this tool, or if we, whatever it is, it's like, and have that dialogue that's open. Hey, if you see a better way to do something, um, let's talk about that, and be the
Yeah.
kind of guy that's approachable, um, and willing to listen to other people's suggestions, because people love that. People love being a part of the process, and being heard. As like having everybody wants to be thought of as having good ideas.
Yeah, for sure. And no one wants to go to a site where the panel is 2 inches too short or 2 inches too big. So if they
Yeah,
have critical involvement in making the step to ensure it doesn't happen, then, why not?
yeah, yeah, absolutely. I love that. So what about other people? Like, what about your vendors? You know, I mean, it's like, is there something that you can do to teach your vendor to be a better vendor? I mean, do you ever consider like training them? You know, is there
Yeah,
a
right.
store?
I offer them my glasses every once in a while.
What's that now?
Your glasses.
Yeah,
You want
Talk
yeah,
them
about
you
that.
want them to see into the future or what?
yeah. I had a shower door come in the other day, and it was a certain width on the top, and it came down. There was a notch in it to go around the bullnose, and below that, it changed sizes. And then it was pivot hinges. So one pivot hinge was set where it normally would, but the other one was set differently. And the left-hand side was out of whack. So I got the door in. I told the driver to put it on the table and laid it out, and nothing was right. So I got out some blue tape, put it on the door, and drew it out right on the door the way it should have been, and sent it back to him. And it came back the next day. It was perfect. Yeah.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah, I says, here's what you didn't do right, you know.
Was that Glass Fab? It sounds like
Yep,
them.
I like them,
They're good.
but I tell them, you know, you
They
want
do get they do get my outages on the wrong side sometimes. I have to call them. Hey, these guys got it wrong. I gotta wait.
to,
So, what are you saying? They went back the next day.
yeah. No, it was a day later, I think.
Oh, okay. I was about to call my sales rep. They only come. All right.
But the driver took it back and showed the guy, and this is what you did wrong. And it was dead on it, size wise.
Yeah, my vendors, they're pretty good. I mean, I don't try to teach them anything. I mean, they got enough in there to worry about.
Oh yeah.
The one thing I got to worry about is that I'm not the only customer. They got a lot of people that I deal with, so it's like, But every once in a while, it's nice to send them their office some Starbucks card or something or some lunch. Goes a long way. I know I said this a lot, but it goes a long way. Because if you need something bad, I mean, quickly, I mean, you get it. Like I ordered a shower door today, a 3P Neo Angle 3Ps. I'm getting tomorrow. I need it. The customers need it done, but for this weekend, I'm like, all right, my guys are willing to work, pay my guys some money, and then we'll do it.
Yeah, well,
So
that's a form of training.
yeah,
Sending them a treat. I mean, how do you train a dog?
kick him in the ass. That's what you do.
No, that's
No,
not what you do. Yeah, right. Because like that's funny. Because like I say, training, and your mind naturally goes to like something negative, right?
yeah,
But it's like, but that's not how we train. We train people with rewards. So like that's a perfect example of how you're training your vendor, man. You're sending them coffee.
exactly. Everyone likes
Good
coffee.
job. Good job,
Who
vendor.
does not like Starbucks? I mean, I don't like it, but yeah,
Yeah, I don't blame you.
Sounds very similar to how the wives train us.
Right?
Yeah.
yeah, but I like the wife's treats though when you do it right. So that's
I'm talking
better.
about treats.
Um, Something we have to do a lot is I was telling Ryan earlier this week, I reached out to him because he challenged me to start tracking some stuff. So just for fun, I figured out in QuickBooks how to track and set a reference on what customers what kind of group or type they were. So I did that for last month for fun. Turned out 97 point something percent of our customers for that month were contractors and just people referral stuff. So what we tend to find ourselves doing a lot is training our builders and contractors, making sure they're calling us when they're actually ready and getting us out on site, not wasting trips out there when stuff isn't fully ready to measure. So we kind of have a checklist, a mental one because it's just me and my dad, but it should be documented like a checklist. You kind of a script you go over with your builders when they call you and say, "Hey, I got a house ready for you." Like you're verifying everything that needs to be finished. Then you're kind of verifying like their timelines and stuff like that. How tight are they on time? How much. Right now, our builders we're training them to. I say we're kind of both training each other, but right now they're very far out. Like they're ready, but then they don't want to have stuff done yet. So we're having to like hold back orders until like a couple weeks or so until they actually know they're going to want their stuff, so that we're not sitting on product too long. So, but what's one thing we do a lot is kind of training our customers because otherwise they become a headache and a pain in the ass, and that's not fun. Anytime I mean, I've had this happen to me before. And that's typically when we start to retrain them is when we start getting pissed off and mad that they're calling us for something we know they're not ready. So that's stuff like that. It's like we don't need to be measuring a house when it's been framing. It's like, what are you doing? Like, I can get you some pricing if you want to send me some plans or something like that. But, if you're trying to build a budget, just let me know. So that's where we train a lot, but we're not good at the in-house training, honestly, because everybody's there's seasoned and, more than hell at this point, everybody's probably been there almost 10 years or more, and so it's very lackadaisical, I guess you could say. But that needs a lot of work, the in-house stuff, but we do focus on the contractors.
Nice. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a perfect example. You know, it's a tough business, man. Uh, Glass business is a tough business, and especially if you're already established. It's it's hard to institute new policies with like old employees, you know. I mean, not that it can't be done. Like, you know, like the old saying, you can't teach an old dog new tricks. You can teach an old dog new tricks, you know. I mean,
Yeah,
it's
you
a little,
can.
it just takes a little bit more effort, you know, a little bit more patience,
A
right?
little harder.
So Daniel, what was
Yeah,
your lead
yeah.
time for getting glass?
What's that?
What's your lead time for getting?
Um, I mean, they deliver to us every day, but the lead time, hell, and it fluctuates, honestly. Depends on how backed up they are here. Like we had some glass that was coming in 5 days. We'd order it on a Monday and get it on a Friday. But if it, like recently, earlier in the month, hell, now, because there's something we ordered like on the 3rd of February and we're not getting it until the 23rd. It was like 20-day lead time, but it's because it was on their CNC machine, I guess, here, and it was at full capacity and they couldn't get it up any sooner, you know? So that was, you know, but again, that's a new build. So the
Yeah,
contractor has time. It's just a matter of whether he knows what's going on our end.
yeah,
Um, But
yeah.
that's, yeah, our lead time, you know, traditionally it's about a week to like 7 to 10 days. And then we tell our customers it's a 2 week turnaround time for install. So,
I feel like next week I got to measure 3 showers. They'll be ready. They already have all the hardware, and they have to be done by like second week in March.
I could, I
Motel,
might be, able-
you know.
I might be able to tell. Look, so we ordered some stuff today. I'm pulling up the emails. We ordered some stuff today and we already got acknowledgments for all of them. And let's just say this one, sorry, I might zoom in too close. Um, it's, you know, we ordered it on, good Lord, it's coming on the 26th. So whatever today is, and then it's coming on the 26th. The hell's the order date? Oh, 219. So 219 to 226. That's a lead time for us right now, whatever that is
One
in
week.
number.
Yeah,
Yeah,
ours is 3 days, so I'll be fine. But
which boggles my mind because they deliver every day, but it's, you know, whatever. As long as we know what we're doing and when we're getting stuff.
yeah,
No, that's a great example of like, yeah, you know, sometimes your customers, like even contractors, you know, need to be trained. You know, you need to like teach them what you need in order to help them
Mm-hmm.
maximum capacity. It's for their benefit, whatever
Yeah.
you're
And
doing, right? I mean,
it's exactly what Billy Britt was saying last week. What he does with his customers, they have their process. They're essentially training every customer that reaches out to them how it is. So, I mean, same thing with your contractors. You develop a relationship and you teach them how it is, you know?
yeah, how to effectively do business with us, you know?
Something that I thought about too, while you guys were talking about procedures and all this stuff. I was thinking like systems, they start off very simple and then they become complex. I can't remember the law that is. But then procedures, it seems like they can probably start off very big. And you guys are talking about whittling them down and eliminating steps and making them smaller.
Mm-hmm.
So it seems like the very opposite of procedures versus whatever the heck I was saying.
Were we talking about policies?
Yeah, we're talking about how, oh, policies like procedures versus
Mm-hmm.
sorry, I'm not feeling very well.
That's all
I
right.
got sweat. I got sweat all over my table. Um,
I should have been listening
what's
closer.
it? Yeah, it's procedures versus something else. Whatever I said earlier.
I think you said systems, but I'm not sure.
Yes,
Oh,
there you go. Systems.
systems.
Systems start off simple. Simple systems. There's a law for it, and then the procedures start off like a laundry list of how to do crap, and then you dwindle it down. So yes, systems versus procedures. Thank you,
Okay.
Sean.
Nice.
No
Good
problem.
job, man. Good job.
I'm gonna stop talking. You're making me sweat.
You're making me sweat.
Hmm.
You're
Right
doing
on.
great. That's
Good.
exactly what you want to do. Train the everyone, like what you're doing with your contractors, because that's what we had to do with our people. Train them how to give them the best service, and not they will object because it's different, and they might have used you forever, and they always got VIP service, but just reframe the language you're using to make it seem like this is even better VIP service. That's when it's hard for me to get owners to get for their cell phone and into our tracking numbers because they always want to make the customer feel like if they got my personal line, they know like they're VIP. It's like, but a way to frame that is, fastest service, call this number. There'll be a team of people always available to call you. For people calling us and wanting us to go to their place for the best, I'll do that. I'll do whatever you want to get the business in some cases if I want you as a customer. But you want some really awesome, fast, accurate quote, send me a picture. It doesn't have to be accurate. In fact, here's a video I made you, or here's a little picture of how to do a width and a height. You could be off 5 inches, doesn't matter. Like, or send them pictures of what examples you have. Send them back to your website. That's traffic back to your website. Talk to them while you walk them through your beautifully built design room online so they can give you the right clarity of what they're looking for. If you have a picture of what a space done looks like versus a space undone. And it just helps you. You train them to not waste your time because every problem you run into is usually, if you look at it like your fault, then you can do something about it. So anytime you mess up with the customer, anytime you mess up with the process or they piss you off, like you said earlier, it's a great opportunity to say, okay, well, how can I fix this? Get ahead, educate them ahead of time, send them something to let them know how we do it, and make them feel good about it. Because at the end of the day, that Billy Britt did a great uh, real life transition into this process of uh, testing an idea and not letting the customer dictate if it would work or not. Just seeing is it going to work? Let the market tell you. And the market told him that it was definitely a welcome process and a welcome change and something that people were finding to be awesome and that he has only scaled. And that is what like try to see. And it starts just like you said, like 32 steps. And then over time, you're like, wait a minute, we can fill in 5 of these steps ahead of time because we need to know where the customer came from. All these elements to get a true full data set and great reporting numbers at the end of that customer journey. And most of the time, you got to manually fill in all those blanks. And that's all those steps. And over time, your systems grow as because they're the ones that fill in this stuff for you. Your system automatically filled in that reporting, that source, that tracking, the stage, the value, the transcript of the calls, the summaries of the conversations get auto-filling this data. And now your steps that you used to do, that you did so you could figure out what the hell is the 55 steps I need. And then your systems slowly start replacing those for you. And that's how perfect example, like those systems grow and the steps reduce. And that's always your goal is never having it perfect, just starting and just go back. We revisit everything. There's a new Ford Mustang, every that they each version isn't perfect. It's good as is and it can still go, but the new version just has a little better. And we just always revisit the beginning of our process just to see is there something we're going to do better or do we leave most of it the same? And that's just what y'all, it's not bad to revisit and change. It's actually what we all need to be doing for the entire business process.
Yeah. This episode of the podcast is brought to you by GlassGadget.com. Showcase Innovations creates tools that help shower door installers be more efficient and save time. Check out GlassGadget.com for more information. Yeah, I really like the way that you frame that, like early, and what you were talking about there of like the VIP, VIP service. It's like you, it's all in how you present it, right? So it's like, hey man, this is how we handle our VIPs. We have them do this and that way we can give them the best, fastest service, the most accurate whatever buzzword, insert buzzword here,
Concierge team. You don't have to wait 1 minute. There's going to be a full team accessible to you.
Yeah. But this is only for our very special customers, of which, you qualify, right? And it's like, because, if you make them feel like they're working for you, it's like, well, why should I do why should I do your job, right? No, this is us helping you, help us help you, you know. Yeah, and what you find is that a lot of times steps are like there's redundancies, you know, and it's like, and you know, I don't mind a little bit of redundancy because there's like some security in that. There's some safety and like kind of double checking things, right? It's not all bad, but sometimes it's just like the same, you know. The great thing about like using follow up, you know, is just that like, you know, you enter the information once and then it gets, you know, that gets transferred, kind of like what you were talking about. You don't have to re-enter the person's address, you know, 17 times, man. It just like populates, you know, when you go on to the next form or whatever. That's how you kind of like whittle down some steps, you know. I mean, it's
I was going to ask Rob if he could speak on something, maybe since you're much better with words. What kind of mindset you guys are talking about bringing in non-green people, experienced people into work for you? What kind of mindset would you urge them if they're listening right now? What kind of mindset for them to go into the job with so that they don't turn out to be that guy that we don't like or doesn't fit in anymore? You know, because I'm sure with the way things are right now, there's a lot of experienced guys looking for a job that whatever, you know, may need some coaching and help with their mindset and a way to approach something.
great question.
Experience, guys. That's a good one. I thought you were thinking of the great twist at the end. What mindset do you have as an experienced guy coming in? I've seen a lot of them come and go and come and stay and then come and start their own thing because they just try to take out. Anyways, let's stay away from those topics. The mindset you should have is you are great and have assets to bring to any company you join, but they're not hiring you for all the things you know how to do. They're hiring you for the experience you have in the field of doing the actual thing. Like to say, you know how to handle glass, you know how to be delicate, you know what it takes to get somewhere and what it takes to get the job done. What you need to come in is understanding how do y'all do it? What's your blueprint? What do I have to do at every step so that no matter what happens, you have my back and I do it right and I can pay? What's the blueprint for growing here and scaling here? What's the vibe like? And the mindset you should have is trying to understand the culture. You need to understand who you're working for and what their goals are and what their goals are from you. And do they have the SOPs that can make you successful? Because you'll be stressed as hell if you get somewhere or promise something. And when you get there, it's not what you were promised and they don't have it as structured. So come in understanding that they might not have it, but they're hiring you because they want it and they understand you're probably not going to crash the truck, drop the glass, or completely screw up that install because you've only done Home Depot kits. Like they're hoping you know what to do on the experience side, but don't bring anything about what the other company did over here. They aren't the other company. They're this company. And I don't care how that company did it. You might have 20 years restaurant experience at one place, but when you go to another, they might hand the napkins a different way, greet the guests a certain way, set the tables a different way, manage the staff, open, close, have reservations. The entire process might be different somewhere else, but your experience in the other place is why they got you. The experience of understanding the full dynamics. That's what you need to bring to the table, but nobody hard set in crap. You don't know crap. You need to know who's the best of the best here. What are y'all reviews like, and who are y'all to the people? And do I want to be that person, or do I roll my eyes at your smile at the customer, take videos, and we do testimonials? Whatever, dude. Don't go. Don't go to that company if you don't like that crap. If they ain't about that, and you ask them, then go and be all about that. Because I've seen a lot of great people come in because they just wanted a great job, but the culture was completely rolling the eyes to them. So understand what the hell you're getting into first, so you're not disappointed and leave if you are experienced going in, and then be the one to bring the tips and don't shut your mouth. But every tip can be shot down. That doesn't mean they're shooting you down. It's just the owners have a way and a vision, and they want tips. Owners can listen. Like everyone has it'd be cool if that, it'd be nice if, it'd be better if. Those have been my best inventions, my best systems, my best automations have come from somebody in there complaining. somebody complaining was the best damn solutions we ever created. They were mad at the message they got after hours. They were mad that no one could answer. They were mad they didn't have the right cut sheets ahead. How do we automate our system to feed that to them? They were somebody was a mistake happened. We could blame them, but did our process iron out so they couldn't make the mistake? Then it's on us. Like that's where the owners have to have the mindset of like build this stuff out, and employees like you're coming with experience, please come to uh, join the company, not to milk it for what it's worth. Some people are just like chasing the next paycheck. Say that. Say what you're here for. Say what makes you happy. Don't just tell them what you want to hear, because you'll get it if they agree that you should have less hours or you should have more hours or you want to work overtime or you want the commission structure. Like be happy with what it looks like in 2 years so that you don't just want to pack up and go to the next person who's $3 more, because people do jump all the time. But if you're somewhere that takes care of you, cares about what schedule you need and your nuances of life, that's where people stay. I've seen 5, 10 year people get great offers, but they don't leave somewhere where they connect with the actual people. Like find a place you can connect with and fucking try it and just fake it, because you'll just be exposed and leave anyways. Sorry, that was a lot of angles. Tough question.
I like it. It was a good answer. Thank you for speaking.
Oh, Chris, I think you're muted, Chris.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Hey, thanks. It's good, man. Anybody else want to weigh in on that? Got another take on that?
Sure. It's somewhat on topic, but off topic. You know, what my best hire was last year, it wasn't a field hire. I hired for admin last year, and it was just supposed to be like an admin assistant reception type thing. And that girl came actually from fast food. She managed fast food and very familiar with an industry with systems. Everything was based on metrics. It was daily metrics, hourly metrics, quarterly metrics. They knew inventory control and they knew scheduling. So she started just as admin. She now heads up the full shower department, does all our scheduling, our ordering, all that stuff, and is now basically a junior coordinator for the construction division as well, and totally scaled up because she had attitude. She cared. She had saw growth potential, but had systems in place. Didn't matter where she started from, but had growth potential, knew how to work in a system. And on the benefit side, she's my greatest advocate on building the systems too, because she understands how to put a metric in and just to make it simple. So check boxes, or if you want to have just a simple gradient scale, well, maybe it's green, yellow, red. And we just put metrics just like that. So, you just scorecard these things and then send them out as a weekly scorecard. And then that's how I get my reports at the end of the week as far as what we quoted and what was awarded, and just a nice little package at the end of the week for each division comes from that. And she totally built those systems. And this was someone that, again, just came from the fast food world. So it's funny how that industry that none of us would ever think of hiring from actually was my best hire all of last year. And the wonderful thing. So don't turn your nose at it, because they're systems oriented people. It doesn't matter what they do. It's just take the system and give them a different goal. So
Used to following the system. Just give her a new system, and
yeah,
she
and
follows it. Not
the
only
greatest
that,
part,
she loves it. She
yeah,
loves following the system. She believes in the system. She's going to help you improve it.
yeah,
She's going to
and
give you pointers on like how to make your system better.
exactly, yeah, because I know my lane, and that was nice having someone from the outside world and saying, okay, but this is stupid. Where I came from, we did it, and a multi-billion-dollar company built their systems very efficiently. So she just stole ideas from that to
Yeah.
just do it this way. This would be easier, right? And again, this was someone who had inventory control and did inventory twice, 3 times a week. You're just changing the product So our inventory control and cost mitigation is way down compared to what it used to be because it's easy for them, not just a guy guessing that there might be 18 tubes of silicone in the truck. We don't know. No, there's a nice form that's ready to fill out and we know how to track it. And scheduling is easy for her, whether it's scheduling staff or scheduling jobs. So, I mean, you still got to help with how long does things take,
Mm-hmm.
but we're well beyond that learning curve now on 90% of the work we do. So, yeah,
There's
it was,
yeah, there's learning. There's learning, but a person like that is probably prone to learning new things, and
yeah,
and systems like changing and updating and like rolling with that. Whereas like you've got some crusty old glazer man who's like, I've done it this way. No. And it's like any change is like a big deal, you know. Oh, what if we do it? It's like,
yeah. And it was just nice to have someone who, again, customer facing person. So they did customer service
you know,
well, could handle any sort of complaints or concerns, knew how to deal with staff. It was actually, when you break it down into each individual job of what you wanted this person to do in a throughout their day, without any industry experience, she fit the criteria of 90% of the job anyway. So we just taught some of the skills that were involved that were different. And it's been great. And like I said, now she's basically a junior coordinator and tendering construction work too. So
And consequences are immediate in fast food. That I spent 9 years in fast food, so maybe that's why I care so much about customer experience part. But that's actually a good tidbit, Ryan. Like, try some fast food workers. Their consequences are immediate, and if they're really good at that part, high stress environments, high volume, where if they make a mistake, it is for not following an SOP. It is right
yeah,
in their face and real ugly. And get someone who goes to your brand where the outcome's a lot longer. They get yelled at 2 weeks later, but they definitely know how to speak to the customer, how to handle stress, how to handle mistakes that happen, and just roll with it and give you the advice they've learned from these high stress. That's a great idea for anyone looking for potential new hires for sure.
yeah. It sounds unorthodox, but it's actually probably my best one. So of
that
all
doesn't
the
surprise me.
of all year.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me at all. And just the idea of finding a good administrative assistant. I mean, it's like that's huge. It's like glass shops don't normally do that, which is really really weird. It's like we kind of skip that whole thing, and that is a huge key hire in any business. I don't care what business you're in. If you don't have an administrative assistant, then like you're blowing it. Because like that person can do so much to help you and like take things off your plate that you know you don't feel like doing, you don't want to do, you don't like to do. And there's people who are like wired to that's all they want to do. And it sounds like you scored on that. So that in itself is really a lesson of being open to getting something like that. I actually am. So I'm in the process. The past couple of weeks, I've been looking for an assistant. So I'm in the process of like hiring an assistant right now, and it's been a really cool experience because it's different than anything I've ever hired. I've always just hired guys, crew members, to installers, whatever. And just put up a post on LinkedIn, got like a ton of applicants, really more than I could even manage. I had to really kind of sort through those, just figure out how many of these people can I actually interview, and gone through my whole first round of interview. And probably the first person who walked in, I had one guy actually show up with his resume. The only person who did that is probably going to end up being the guy that I end up hiring. Just has those the right attitude, right? And it's just like I'm telling everybody, it's like I'm looking for the right person. I don't care like about skills. I don't care about experience. I don't care about education, any of those things. If you fit, if you're the right person, I can teach. I can teach everybody everything else. So just having that attitude and the willingness to learn, and the someone who enjoys learning, because that's what it's really going to take to make it. Back to Daniel's question, it's like be someone who's like curious, and wants to learn. And it's like you may have a better way of doing everything than the company that you're going to join. But it's like you need to learn to do it their way first, right? I mean, because it's like if you can't do it the way that they do it, then your suggestion really doesn't matter, no matter how great it is. You need to come into a new culture. You need to adapt to that culture. You need to fit in there and do it the way that they do it. And once you prove that you can do that you can be on the team, then you can do it the way that they do it, as well as everybody else does it. Once you do that, you've got an idea, everybody's all ears. But until you can do that, you're just a suspect. It's like, what, you can't even do it the way that we do it, but you've got a better way. It's like, no, we're not even interested in hearing that. So like being that, because if you're not that kind of a team player, you're not going to take care of the customer. The way that the customer needs to be taken care of. You're going to be pissing people off. You're going to be pissing off the vendors and the other employees and everything else. So it's like, that's my advice for somebody who wants to join a good company. It's like, be that kind of person. Think about, man, what can I do to make this company great, to keep it great, make it better, and it's okay to come in and ask the question. When when you're doing an interview, they're going to ask you, do you have any questions for me? I mean, if it's a decent interviewer, they're gonna, they're gonna ask you questions and stuff, and then they're gonna be like, "So, do you have any questions for me?" And you should have a question for them, And that question should be like, "Is there a way that you can tell me that will guarantee that I will succeed at this job?" And make them tell you what metric they're going to use to measure whether or not you're successful. So that so that you can come back, in 3 months or whatever and say, hey, when you hired me, I asked you this, and this is what you told me, and this is what I've done. Because you can have a subjective method or an objective method of proving that like you've succeeded, So that's the question that I would have ready. If they don't ask you if you've got a question, ask the question anyway.
Perfect. All that was a perfect way to say it. That was a perfect answer. Yeah.
Thanks, man. I appreciate that. Yeah, it's been fun. Like I say, it's been fun going through there was like dozens of people, and it's weird. It's like other people talk about how, people will like apply and then they won't show up for the interview or whatever. Man, I had every person show up and show up in the rain, and everything. And really, great, really nice people with degrees, people with, people who are like way overqualified. And I'm like, hey, this is like an entry-level job. It's like part-time. It's going to be like, it's training. It doesn't pay hardly anything. And this is what I'm doing. I'm like totally managing expectations, right? This is just, this is how I've always sold. It's like, hey, man, it's going to cost you a lot. It's going to take a long time, but it's going to be great when we're done, And it's like, that's, kind of how I've always qualified my customers. But it's like, you know, uh, the older I get, the more I realize that, like, you know, everybody is, you know, your customer, right? It's like, whether it's you know, you're selling, you know, you're selling your business. Like, you're not really selling glass, you know, you're not really selling shower doors, you know, you're selling your shower door company, right? Because people can buy a shower door at many places. You're selling them your shower door, you know, and it doesn't matter if it's like the customer, the contractor, or if it's the vendor, you know, or if it's you know, a potential employee. You know, it's like you want them to buy in to, you know, your business. So you can do it. What else? What else? We've got a few minutes. Anything I forget?
Don't sleep on Chris's admin assistant tip. I wish Billy was here, but that was kind of what he was talking about. He had done, and when my video cut off last week, was the most impressive thing I that was different than everyone else that tried to sign up and use something new, a new tool, is he hired someone new that had no existing responsibilities. And most of us don't really attack it like that. We are the office people who see an app we want to use or a different tool, and we try to bring it into a busy place that needs solutions, but we are already behind the gun. And learning and adapting to all this new stuff makes us more behind. But that strategy of bringing in someone outside, and she had nothing but time to learn, in this case, how to use follow up glass. In other cases, when we did it at first, was House Call Pro or Service Titan, all the different apps I've used. But for Billy, bringing in someone to use Follow Glass, learn it, understand how to use it, practice on different segments of people in the process, refine it, and then train the other staff and understand how to get each one of them to use it. The fact that that person had nothing on their plate, I think, is an amazing approach that worked so well. And within a month, they were up and running in all these ways. And it was a light bulb in my head like, oh, most of us don't approach it like that. We're in the business, we add it to our current people and our staff, and we learn it as we go. And sometimes it takes not 1 month, but 3, 4, 5 months to even begin using the system the way we should. And that's usually like, don't sleep on the admin assistant for whatever their role is, even if it's just to learn something new you want to do and not bog down your current people. I think it's worth it because they need to keep doing what they're doing, and you can introduce it when it's right.
Love it. Well said. Well said. Um, nice. Well, that was a good call, man. I'm glad I came. Hmm. I'll probably come back again next week. Thanks, you guys. Really appreciate it. I hope you have an excellent rest of your weekend, and all that. Do something nice for yourself. And we'll see you next week.
See you next
Have a good
Thursday.
week.
Bye.
Yeah.
Bye.